Hey, what's going on, everybody? You're tuned into the Everything with Millennials podcast. This is, of course, the podcast where two millennials talk about whatever they want. I'm Anthony Element, and I'm joined by my host, as always, Mick Martin. Actually, today is our rap episode, so I'm calling him MC Mick Martin. What's going on, Mick?
Hello. Yeah, I'm not an MC.
Well, it's our rap
Okay,
episode, so
totally
I'm
clean.
nicknaming you.
Yeah, I know what it is.
Just like on our Halloween episode where I was like, it's Mummified Martin.
Oh
That might-
yeah. No, it's not the same though, because an MC is a thing that, if you call yourself an MC, you better M and C sometimes. I guess I've MC'd weddings.
Yeah, you master of ceremonies, man. So yeah, that fits. I guess that's
All
gonna be a
right.
new thing. Every episode, whatever the theme is, I'm gonna nickname you.
Fine.
Yeah, so it's been a few since the last episode. Last episode we were talking about the Halloween stuff. This week we're talking our actually own personal top 5 hip hop albums of all time. So we had to take a few weeks, kind of think about it. We both got our lists here, and we'll kind of just discuss it. We'll kind of see. So this is our top 5 based on our own personal stuff. So I know everyone out there is gonna have their own personal top 5. Maybe they don't even like hip hop, but yeah, everyone's got their own top 5 albums in their head. So, we both like two different kinds of music, right? But today we're just gonna focus on hip hop, and yeah.
Hip to the hip. Dibbity bip.
All right, so yeah, let's jump on. Let's do your top 5, and then we'll go through my top 5. All right, so
Like I
let's
said,
see.
yeah, mine are very simple, man.
Yeah,
I'm a simple
well,
person.
well, they're gonna be classics, right? Like we're both kind of hip hop heads. We grew up in like the '90s, so these are
Yeah.
probably albums that are dear to us. Let me see. I'm gonna pull
It's
up.
just albums I grew up listening to all the time and loved.
Yeah,
right? So-
yeah, right. So like it's gonna be what you like. Your top 5 will come from different reasons why they're in your top 5, but we'll kind of go through that. So I'm gonna pull up your first number 5, Dr. Dre's 1992 classic, The Chronic.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah. Ain't nothing but a G thing, baby.
yeah. So some
I
of
mean,
the
I
yeah. Go
just
ahead.
love it. I could sit down and listen to it anytime. I know that Dre has a bad reputation as being like violent, and he slapped D Barnes, and he's done a lot of awful stuff. But in terms of the music, it's really, really good. And
Yeah.
you can just sit down and listen to the whole album and be
So like,
like,
what are like your
totally.
standout tracks on this one? So like, there's a lot of classics on here. Nothing but a G thing. Bitches
Yeah.
ain't shit. um, let's see what
Right?
else
I
was.
mean, it's a big.
Yeah,
Um,
like what are your favorite tracks on this one?
He's the one number 8 there. He's just like, who's the man with the master plan?
With the gun with
Person
Snoop
with a
Dogg, yeah,
motherfucking gun.
yeah, rat tat 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 with
Yeah,
RBX
3
and
men
Snoop
in a
Dogg.
get. Yeah,
Yeah.
wandering the streets of L.A. Wandering with the. Yeah, man. No, these are great. This is a great album.
Yeah. This is
Like,
actually this is a lot of these will be classics that in like hip hop that we'll
and
talk
they're
about.
savage. Like these. They don't hold back in any way. They're not in any way afraid
Yeah.
of. So, like the purpose is to offend you. Like
Yeah.
that's why they wrote these things. They didn't write them hoping that a lot of people would really like it and like nobody would have their feelings hurt. They wrote it to hurt your feelings. That's why they wrote these songs. So you know,
That's your number 5.
it's just interesting. It's just yeah.
So
I
like
just
when
dig it.
let me ask you this, like since 1992, me and you are way too young to like actually really be in hip hop and listening to this kind of music. So when did you find this album?
No, I would have found it when I was pretty young, man.
in 92 when it came out? I like
No, I would have been like 6 or 7, but like not that far
Yeah.
after that, man. Like people in my high school or in my elementary school were not. Yeah, we watched Freddie. We watched R-rated movies. We listened to dirty, like NWA songs and stuff like that. We found ways to get access to all that stuff, even when we were little ass kids, like 10-year-olds. We
Yeah.
found ways to watch everything. Like we were running around in the street, man. we,
Yeah.
like we were
Well-
running around finding stuff. I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah.
I listened to
I-
that very, very young. Yeah.
Yeah, and for me it's probably a little bit older. Like I didn't really get into hip hop until like early teens, probably like when I was a little bit older to understand that stuff. But I was, you'll see from my list, I was less gravitated to Dr. Dre and all that violent stuff than more of the kind of make you feel good kind of stuff. Not so
Yeah.
much
Well,
Sugar
you're
Hill
a good
Gang,
person.
and not so much Will Smith, but you'll see. Uh, let's move on. You got anything else to say on that one?
Um, yeah, just please understand
Yeah.
that like I get how offensive that album is. Um, eh, and that's that is what he wrote it for. That was like the world that this guy
Yeah,
was sort of highlighting to people
yeah.
who didn't want to see it.
Was it like I
And
know?
I think it's important to do that. Yeah. God, Dre,
Was
you
it
can't
like
really
the
defend Dre as a
storytelling
person,
of
but
that kind of attracted you to that, or like
yeah, the
what it?
storytelling, the rawness of it, just the
Yeah.
fact that it's like, and there's a lot of insecurity in it too. Like you don't talk that way, you don't front that way, you don't put yourself out to be this unless you're scared, I think.
Hmm.
Um, that's just how I feel.
Yeah, and I do like that album too. Like I'm a hip hop head, I appreciate it. I love this is like the come up of Dr. Dre in
Mhm.
him and his doing his beats and stuff. So like you kind of see the progression in his albums and stuff. And I actually I did a lot of music production myself, so like I always look at the beats and the music of it all, and I enjoy
Yeah.
that and the
Yeah, it
creativity.
just sounds good. The G funk, right? It
Yeah,
just
they had
sounds,
that
it
West
flows
Coast
like,
sound, right?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. So let's we'll move on to your number four. Actually, going from the from West Coast to East Coast, we got on number four on your list, the Notorious B.I.G. So we got Biggie's Life After Death.
Yeah,
This is a good album too. Uh, uh,
it's really good.
yeah.
Yeah.
So this one is
Like,
just littered with hits. So like Hypnotized, that was probably the really big song in the 90s. I remember when that came out. When did this come out? 97. So that's when I
Notorious
was really
thug.
into hip hop too. I started getting into it right in the late 90s. So
Yeah.
yeah, Hypnotize, Biggie, 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 can't you see?
Yeah.
Kick in the
Sometimes your
door.
words just hypnotize me.
That was a good one. Oh, More Money, More Problems. That
It's
see
like
these are
the more money we come across, the more problems
yeah
we
with
see.
Diddy and Mace. Oh man,
I
or
don't
back
know
when he was
what
Puff
they...
Daddy. Yeah, these are the songs,
Yeah,
man. See,
yeah,
these are the ones
yeah.
that I'm saying, like the ones that make you feel good and make you want to dance. Kind of more money, more
Yeah.
problems. Yeah, and then
No, but there wasn't all that though, man. It
yeah.
wasn't all
Oh,
that. Ten
going
Crack
back to
Commandments,
Cali. Yeah.
serious, serious.
So this
Yeah.
is a little bit
Oh yeah,
different
oh
than
yeah. Back.
Dr. Dre's album. So it came out a few years later. It had a lot of
Mhm.
the elements of that storytelling of like where Biggie came from and all that hard
Mhm.
stuff. But then you also had songs that kind of make you dance. Hypnotize, More Money,
Yeah,
More
but like,
Problems.
what's beef? What's beef has lyrics that are like, "What's beef? Beef is when your moms ain't safe up in the street."
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. But I feel
beef
like
is
there's
when I
more.
see you, guaranteed to be in ICU. He's not, he was not just like Biggie, Biggie, Biggie. Like
Yeah.
this album has some pretty
It's
savage stuff
varied.
on it,
You also have like things like
vicious stuff.
Sky's the limit, which is kind of like hopeful, right? Like he's like he'll make you dance. He tells his like story about where he came from, and also like
Mhm.
hope and stuff like that. So I think it's
Yeah.
well rounded. I really like this album as well, and also it was a double album too when it came out. Do you remember that?
Mhm. Um,
So
yeah, I
there
think I do.
there's 24 tracks, so it was divided over two CDs. I remember this. I actually have this album still on CD.
Oh, wow, wow. Yeah, man. Yeah. And you're nobody till somebody kills you. I mean, the fact that
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
like he's a ghost. He's like
yeah. Super solid
like,
album. I like this
yeah,
one.
he was a ghost of history before he even
Yeah, and this is
died.
actually
Like,
right before he died too, right? Life.
I know.
It's
Yeah.
crazy that he had. I guess that he had Ready to Die, and then he had Life After Death. It's kind of crazy that
And then he
then
was
he
gone.
died. Yeah,
Yeah. Well, because he knew that the stuff that he was saying and the life he was living was dangerous. Um, he was facing down death. It's one of the reasons he was so attractive and appealing to people because he was a legitimately dangerous man, but he was also incredibly talented. Like his brain, his fucking hippocampus rhymed with his eyes. Like somehow it just, you know what I mean? Like his whole, yeah, I don't know.
yeah. Biggie, one of the greats for sure. Like even if we're not even talking about albums, we talk about MCs, rappers. He's up there on the top five easy, right?
Yeah, like just the way he said things, like
Yeah.
everything about him
Biggie.
was just like this. Like, yeah, I like him a lot. Anyway.
Yeah. Yeah. Top. Both on our tops. Let's see.
Oh, so that's in your top five as well.
Yeah. I don't want to ruin it. Like some of
Okay,
ours
all right,
might
all right,
cross
all right, all
over,
right.
but we'll go
Okay,
through
yeah,
that and we'll kind of see where we meet eye and where we kind of differ. But
cool.
we'll move on to your number 3 album, Kanye West's The College
Yeah,
Dropout,
college dropout.
2004. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is Kanye's debut album. So like
Jesus walks.
and yeah, again, like you'll probably find like with a lot of the
Nail me
our
now.
top albums, they're just littered with hits.
Yeah, yeah. Like
So what do
I'm
we
not,
have? All
I'm not,
Falls Down.
I'm not on
Uh,
like pitchfork.com all the time checking things out. I just like what I like. That's it. But
yeah.
like the
Jesus
workout plan,
Walks. Yeah.
yeah, Jesus, like the
Work
workout
it
plan.
out. Work it
Thanks to
out.
Kanye, workout plan. I'm
Yeah.
ending all my friends. I think a
Two-
little bit baller, man.
if you haven't listened to any of these albums and you're just listening to us sing these,
Workout plan.
it's gonna sound crazy. Yeah, too bad we can't play the actual songs on the podcast, or
I
we get
know.
like copyright strikes and all that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Every one of these songs I remember bumping. Like I had this in my Celica back in the day. I had the CD in the car, just kind of playing it on repeat. Yeah, these are all solid songs. Like
I
his
just love this album.
yeah. Through the
Like,
Wire. That's
yeah.
the one he rapped where he got into a car accident and then he had to get his jaw wired shut, and he still rapped the song, and he rapped it while having his jaw wired shut. So you can hear it in the rap. So
Like,
good.
say what you want about Kanye West. Like,
Yeah.
the guy makes. The guy is just he's a genius.
Yeah.
Like, he makes really good music. Like,
Yeah,
it's just
old Kanye. New Kanye is a little sus.
well, new Kanye. He's got some battle miles on him, man. Like, was
Yeah.
Muhammad Ali better at the beginning or the end of his career? Like, this you can compare what's her name to like George Foreman. Who was that one he married there?
Who?
Kardashians. The Kardashians. They're like George Foreman and Joe Frazier. That's what they did to Kanye. They George Foreman and Joe Fraziered him.
Hmm.
You know.
Let's see. Hold on. I'm just who Kanye West? What? So tell me about just George Frazier, Kanye West thing.
George Foreman and Joe Frazier fought Muhammad Ali, and they hit him many, many times. And in doing that, they turned Muhammad Ali from what he was, flowed like a butterfly, sting like a bee, into what he became, which was, unfortunate. So that, and I think that's what the Kardashians did to Kanye. Right?
Oh.
They put him in the sunken place. They like,
Yeah. See, I don't know. Yeah, new Kanye. So his stuff is still good. I still enjoy Kanye West. I kind of like all the music, but he just seems like just kind of things he says nowadays is kind of more controversial and kind of crazy. And like,
yeah.
so
He's in the sunken place.
his most controversial. Have you ever heard the one song? In his verse in it goes scoopity whoop, whoopity poop, poopity scoop scoop. It's like, have you heard that song? That's his verse.
Yeah, I have. Yeah, I have. Yeah, but so what? I'm Irish, man. Do you know what the Irish verses sound like? Hopty diddly day day dee dee diddly dee dee do.
Yeah, so I think a
like
lot
it's
of
like
people.
whatever, man. That's
Yeah.
we got through 900 years of British oppression that way, guy. Fuck.
But yeah, I think me and you will agree. Old Kanye was the best. Like beat wise, like lyrics wise,
Yes,
kind of
old
everything.
Old Kanye was like old Ali, man, just
Yeah,
smooth,
me and you both agree, and I think a
bouncy,
lot of other
fucking
people.
perfect.
Even though I
Like,
still love Kanye now, like I listened to his new album Donda, I
I'll
still
listen to
liked
it
it, but I still love old Kanye better.
Yeah, I like old Kanye. I like the Kanye that did not like George Bush.
Oh yeah,
I like
yeah.
that Kanye.
That was he was on with Michael Myers, and he said it out of nowhere, out of his own like, out of his mind. He's just like, George Bush does not care about black people, and in that moment you could see Mike Myers. He's like, his face was frozen.
Well,
He's like, what did you just say? What did you
somebody
say?
had to call out the way the media was covering those events, and
Yeah.
somebody had to say something about the way Bush responded to it and how totally reckless and irresponsible it was to have like a massive army in Iraq for no good reason, bombing and killing people, when it was needed at home to help in the middle of a natural disaster. Yeah, Kanye, yeah,
That was
he
like the
scored some points with
first.
me when he said that.
Oh,
I mean,
excuse
I
me.
don't know that he was specifically right, but
That was like the beginning of the unhinging of Kanye West. uh, all right. Okay, I guess we Kanye tangent, but that was on point there of the topic. Well, you want to move on to your number two?
um, yeah, yeah.
So Mike or Mick Martin's number two album, oh yeah, another Notorious B.I.G. album, Ready to Die, 1994. This one was good too. I'm a big fan of B.I.G. So this one had ones that stand out to me. One More Chance, Juicy. Oh, that's good one.
Obviously
Big
Juicy, yeah.
Papa, Unbelievable.
I have some of these just like memorized.
Who
Like,
Shot
isn't
Ya?
part is Party and Bullshit on here? I thought it
No,
was.
that I think. Oh, was it on here?
Was
I
that
think it's
just a
on here.
single?
It was either on here
Hmm.
or it was on this album. Where did this? No, maybe it's not on this album.
Maybe it
Let's see.
came out. Maybe it was a song that came out
Maybe it was
after.
on his other album. I forget what his first album was, but yeah, Party and Party.
Bullshit
Yeah.
and bull. Pounds from
Uh,
the honeys, hugs from the
yeah.
roughnecks.
Machine Gun Funk. Give me the loot. Give me the loot.
Give me the loot. Give me the loot. I'm
Yeah,
a
these.
bad, bad
Yeah,
boy.
yeah.
Yeah,
These are
and
another
I
class
like
album.
these. Yeah, it's a perfect album. It's just perfect, start to
Yeah.
finish. You know.
Yeah. When we go into like
Um,
notables, there's one album that a lot of hip hop say that is the number one album of like all time, but we'll kind of go into that when I get into the notables. It didn't make my list, but
mhm.
yeah.
Um,
So what about this album? Why does this make your top two?
um,
Like you said, it's just a perfect
Juicy
album.
alone is enough. Yeah, it's a perfect album.
Yeah.
Just like, it's once again, it's Biggie. It's his passion. It's his like, it's his, what he is. Him being him is just, I don't know. You can't beat it. You can't beat it. Like, give me the loot. Give me the loot. He's a bad, bad boy.
Yeah, that's a good song. I
Or
love
like,
that one. The
Hail
beat
Mary,
is
full
awesome.
of grace. Slap the in the face, take the Gucci bag, and it's like, oh my god, how can you say these things? Like, yeah, man. Oh, switch the camera over to you for a minute because somebody's knocking on my door.
Okay.
Sorry.
Yeah, no worries. Was somebody there?
I think it was the ghost of Biggie, just being like, "Thank you for the props."
He's like kicking the door within the 4-4. He heard you talk. He heard us talking about you. Dum 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 dum.
It was all
Dun,
a dream.
dun,
I used to read
Biggie.
What Up magazine.
Oh, classic,
Pepper
classics.
everything up in the limousine.
I think
Hanging
right after
pictures
this,
on
I'm
the
gonna have to blast
Yeah,
some
yeah.
'90s hip hop in here.
Yeah, man. I just
right.
love it. I don't know. I just
Yeah. No, it's good, man. It's
yeah.
good stuff. And moving on to your number one album, and I think this will be a number one for a lot of people. I know this was when I was in high school. This album came out, and it was
Me
like
too.
the album plus the tour. That's Dr. Dre's Chronic 2001.
Yep.
This is littered with hits too, right?
And we talked about Dre already, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like as a
Yeah.
person and all that stuff. But I mean, and the lyrics are brutal. He wrote them to offend you.
Yeah, and this is
Like,
probably one of
that's
the best
why he wrote it,
produced
and-
Dr. Dre albums that, in my opinion, that he ever produced. Like every
Yeah.
beat is like Dr. Dre has like a very recognizable sound with his drums and the way he puts things together, and it's boom boom, like so good.
Yeah, like he created something that was like
Yeah.
just a single piece of magic, and laid it there on the table, and it was so good that he didn't even want to make another album afterwards because he was like,
Yeah.
I can't
there-
even believe that
Yeah.
came from my brain, like
Yeah,
and it took him more than a decade, I think, to follow it up because he was just like, what else do you know?
yeah,
But
also
this is it. Like, what else can I give you,
yeah.
people?
It's
know?
funny. Dr. Dre's mostly a producer, but he raps too. So, and
Yeah.
he's on like all the songs. But like so, Still Dre, big hit. Forgot About Dre, super big hit. Like there's a ton here. Like The Watcher,
Steven,
explosive. What's
I'm
the
looking
difference?
hard. Yeah.
And
What's the
and
difference between me and you?
yeah, yeah, really good album.
Yeah.
So
And the little the little like, it's like, tell the kid the truth, like the little interludes and things like that. They're so
yeah,
vicious. Oh my god. Oh yeah.
so I find it interesting. On your list, you have two Biggie albums, two Dr.
Two
Dre
Dre
albums.
albums, I
They
know.
take up pretty much
They
most of
take
your
up my
list.
most of my top five. Yeah, Dre and
Two
Biggie.
artists. Yeah,
Look, and I absolutely love Tupac. I love Eminem, and I love Kanye, Jay Z, Nas, all the classic guys. I like new people. I think Lil Dicky's funny.
yeah, Lil
I like,
Dicky.
yeah, obviously, I love Snoop. I love Ice Cube. I love
Yep.
who's new. Well, fuck, man. I was gonna say J. Cole. He's not new though.
He's newish. I guess newer school than
Not really. Not, like compared to some of the guys I really like, but like
yeah.
I don't know. I think Post Malone's
Yeah,
decent.
but he's not really a
Like
rapper. I guess he's rapper-ish. He mostly kind
yeah,
of sings. But I guess
like
you can
sings, yeah.
loop him in there.
Yeah, I mean, I wish I knew the newer stuff better. I
Yeah,
wish I still followed it. It's just
yeah,
you get older and music. I don't know. Like music's
yeah.
not always. It's made for young people. It's made for people who are like 15
It's
to
different nowadays too,
25 or whatever,
especially
right?
in discovering music. Like back in the day when we were growing up, it was we listened to the radio,
Mhm.
like Much Music, MTV, like on TV, kind of how you find it. And I remember going to the record store every like Tuesday because that's when new CDs and stuff would drop, and I would
Mhm.
spend like all my money pretty much on music. Like every Tuesday, what's new? Grab the
Yeah.
newest thing, and
Oh, man, and that first Wu-Tang album. Oh wait, which was the one with Cream? Cash moves everything with
enter
money.
the Woo 36
Enter the
Chambers.
Woo, yeah, 36 Chambers, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
I used to listen to that all the
Yeah.
time, and
Cash
it was
rules
a
everything around me. Cream, get the
Cream gets
money.
some money,
Dollar bill,
bill,
yo.
yo. I grew up on the crime side, the New York Times. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
I absolutely, I love that album. It's just the Dre one, something about it.
Yeah.
I could I it was a toss up between those two for me, but that Dre album, I don't know. It makes me feel like I'm really someone else when I listen to it. Like it makes me feel like I'm a gangster in LA. Like you know what I mean? And I couldn't be further from that fucking thing. Like but like that's how it makes me feel when I listen to that album. Like I don't know. It's just the Wu-Tang album is really, really special. It's really
Yeah.
good. It's really great music, but it's
Yeah.
not for me for whatever reason. I just like that '92 Trey
Yeah.
album.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All right. So let's now move into my top five. So we'll see
yeah,
what's kind of the same, what's a little bit different. Uh, so for me, uh, because I had to do I'm at number five. I'll just pull it up here. I have Jay Z's Volume 3, Volume 2, and
Mhm.
Volume 1. So the Life and Times of S. Carter is the Volume 3, Volume 2, Hard Knock Life, and Volume 1, In My Lifetime. So
yeah, yeah,
these three albums are my number five because I wanted to pick a Jay Z, man, has to be in there.
yeah.
I just lumped these together because they're kind of like a trilogy. So in descending order. So Volume 3.
And I should have put I should have picked a Tupac album, like, but it's just his catalog is what makes him, right? It's not single albums for him. It's his like whole body of work. And Jay Z maybe less so. Jay Z
Jay-Z,
has
I
some
think,
pretty
has the
amazing
more
just single
one of the
albums.
longest like rap careers. Like he still raps today. He's been rapping since like the early '90s, maybe like '80s.
Yeah,
But
but he also puts out great albums just as
yeah,
singular pieces. It's not just
and
like a whole body of work
like
thing
you'll
with
see,
him either.
we'll go through these three albums here that I've got. So like Jay Z, Volume 3. So the big one on here was probably Big Pimpin'. That was a big song. Big Pimp. Yeah. And there's a lot of other ones that weren't as like big singles, but I guess Big Pimpin' was the kind of the big one there. But to me, a lot of these were like super bangers. And also like it's kind of the albums that you grew up with, or the one is kind of the ones you kind of gravitate to. So there's different reasons why you like different albums. Either you relate to the content, you like the music, or like you like the storytelling, or whatever, or like I don't know. I grew up with Jay Z, so I love Jay Z. Jay Z. This was a came out in '99, so that's when I was really listening to hip hop, like in the late '90s. So that's I don't know. This album just kicks it for
Mm.
me. So then
No, I like it. I love all these albums. I really like.
Volume Two
Um,
had Hard Knock Life, um, Money Cash House. Can I Get a? That was a huge one on that on
Can I
the.
get a whoop?
Can I get a what from? And I
Yeah,
remember,
that song's amazing. Yeah.
yeah, with Ja Rule.
Look at that love hug.
This was a good one for me
Can
too.
I get a whoop whoop?
I remember listening to these on the radio and how Money Ain't a Thing. Oh, with Jermaine Dupri. These like see these like kind of bang like banger songs like there were like really like party. So that's kind of like you'll see that's kind of my MO. I kind of like feeling good and stuff like that. And that's what a lot of these songs were. Even though it did have a lot of Jay-Z's very much like Biggie, where he'll tell you a story. And in my opinion, I feel like Jay-Z is like a really great storyteller. He had like even in Volume One, he had like literal stories that he's telling you in the songs. But a lot of stuff that like had good beats, kind of made you feel good and kind of stuff like that. But I remember listening to "Can I Get It" on the radio because you know how that song goes with all the swearing, and in the so it's basically on the uncensored version. He's like, "Can I get a fuck you?" And then in the radio version, he's, "Can I get a what?"
To all my people who don't love.
Love hoes
Yeah,
that
yeah, but
only
I think
know
the
those.
what version was better, even though
Yeah,
obviously the fuck
almost.
you
Yeah,
version is harder. But
yeah.
yeah,
But I just remember
yeah.
the radio version. Yeah, Hard Knock Life. That one's good. Jigga what? Oh yeah, so this is a good example. So it's N word what, N word who. It's like Jigga what, Jigga who. That's what they changed it to, and it made sense too because it was Jay Z and his nickname is Jigga. So he's like
Yeah,
Jigga what,
yeah.
Jigga who. So they came up, and I really liked. So like when they did the radio versions, they got to see all the creative ways they used to censor stuff. I remember
Mhm.
that growing up. So they would do a couple things. They would either change the word completely, like they'll Jigga what, Jigga who. They'll completely like just remove the word, or they'll. You remember this? If I don't know if you ever heard a song that's censored, they'll reverse the swear. So he'll be like, he's like, I don't give a f. You ever heard that in a
Oh,
song?
really? No,
They'll
I haven't.
reverse the
That's
swear,
interesting.
the audio
Oh, I
of
guess maybe I have. I just didn't notice it, but that's cool.
yeah. I remember this growing up because like when you're growing up, you're a young kid and like you're listening to music with swearing and stuff and like
Mm.
I don't know like
You feel
your
so bad. You feel like you're so
your
like
parents and stuff. So
cool.
I became really cognizant of like hearing the swears and stuff and like almost
Yeah,
trying to
yeah.
hide it from your parents and stuff. It's like,
Yeah,
no, there's no
that's
swearing in
right,
here. I can
yeah.
keep listening
It's
to
like
this.
it's meaningless, nothing, but it's
Yeah.
funny.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Jay-Z, yeah, Volume 2. And then Volume 1. So this one had like I don't know if you've ever heard this album. This one is like his oldest album in this is 3. So he had like The City Is Mine, A Million and One. That was as an intro, but it was wicked. And I remember his intros for these
I know
albums. They
these
had this
songs,
one
yeah.
guy. He would like talk about whatever, and at the very end, he'd be like, "Okay, I'm reloaded." Like that's
Yeah.
to me, that's super classic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No. I used to listen to this. I used to listen to this while I played Civilization 1 or 2, I think.
Yeah. I love this album in my lifetime, Volume 1. So I have all 3 of these too. And so that one song that I was talking about where he tells like a cool story, like a lot of them he tells stories, but this one he had Friend or Foe 98. He kind of tells this story about like it's just really good, like, and he actually had a music video for it too that went along with it. And actually for this album there was a movie, and it was kind of like a musical. Like he would have the different songs and they go together, and it was like a whole story. It was pretty cool. I remember watching that when I was young. But see what else is on here. You Will Always Be My Sunshine with Babyface and Foxy Brown. That was a good song. Na na na, always be my sunshine. It's like it's so good. So those 3 albums are my number 5. I like them because Jay-Z's awesome.
So you So I got to give a top 5 and you got to give a top 5, 6, 7.
No, that's okay. Those 3 are lumped in one. I'll have
Okay.
you'll actually see
yeah,
we have
three in one.
we have duplicates. So watch.
Uh-huh.
So we'll move down to my number 4, Kanye West. So for the same reason,
okay.
so College Dropout. So we do have some similar ones there. So we don't have to talk
Thanks
about
to Kanye's
Kanye
workout
West.
plan.
Yeah, Kanye's workout plan. But yeah, after
And
this,
just thinking about it makes me laugh. Yeah, that's such a great album. God
Yeah.
damn, is it ever a great album? When you were listening, right when this came out, I was listening to this. Like from the moment it dropped until today, I'll listen to it all. Like I'll listen to the whole thing the whole way through. Love it.
yeah, Kanye West workout plan or
Yeah.
the
No,
whole album.
The whole album. The whole
Yeah.
album. Absolutely. Really his catalog. Anyway.
Yeah. All right. So my number three. This is the newest album on my list, and I don't know if it'll make a lot of people's lists, but it made mine, and I'll kind of tell you why. It's Childish Gambino's Camp album from 2011. So this was his first studio album that he produced. Right before this, he produced he actually put out a few like mixtapes, a lot of rappers do, and all of those songs are awesome. Like he was like one of the first rappers to rap over like indie beats, like indie pop beats, indie rock beats. But this is his first album put out in a studio, and it was actually produced by Ludwig Göransson, who is actually the producer of. He usually does like TV music, and he did all the music in Community. You know that show Community, which
Yeah,
Donald,
I know it. Yeah,
which Donald Glover
I
was
know
on
Childish
too.
Gambino. Yeah, this
Yeah,
is a good album.
This is so for me. What is so like good about this album is like I kind of, to me, like I said, you can either like the music, the storytelling. For me, I really relate to the content of this album. So it's a lot of like he talks about like girls and like heartbreak and him growing up in general. Like there's a song called That Power, and in that song, like he tells a story about how he liked this girl and he told her he liked her, and this whole story about like how the girl kind of rejected him. But then he has this line where he says, "I got on the bus, a boy, and I never got off." It's like he's like saying childish and like I don't know. To me, that's just like I just super relate to all the content, and like because he's got like really good songs where he's got like swag. Like I just relate to this a lot because he's like got swag. He's been heartbroken. He tells these good stories. Like just a lot of like him growing up. He kind of grew up like how I grew up, so I kind of relate to all of the songs in here. So that's why. And plus, he's got really good songs, good beats, good lyrics. Like I think Childish Gambino overall is a really good rapper. So that's why this is my number three.
No argument from me on that.
Yeah. Heartbeat, awesome song. Bonfire. Even his newer albums, he's got lots of good songs on there.
I've heard these songs separately, just like on like YouTube, like binging through YouTube and stuff. I don't think I've sat down and listened to this.
Yeah, and the production is awesome because, like I said, it's Ludwig Göransson. He does like orchestra and like big stuff, but he also does these rap beats for Gambino, and they're sick. I think they're like super sick.
Right on.
Number three, Childish Gambino.
Number three, the Gambino. Okay, so what are we doing two? What's two going to be?
Okay,
Gambino's
number two.
At three.
Okay, so number two, you had this on your list, Notorious B.I.G. Life After Death.
Two is Life After That, so not Ready to Die, because I think Ready to Die is the superior album, but I do love Life After Death. Don't get me wrong,
Life After Death because of like the feel good stuff, More Money, More Problems, Hypnotize. I love those songs. Plus, I think it was just a good mix of everything that Biggie is. You know, it's like he's hopeful. He can still make you dance. He can tell you a good story about like how he grew up in the ghetto and stuff like that. So I thought it was well rounded. That's why it's my number two. But Biggie
doesn't really have a third album, so I'm wondering where Party and Bullshit sits in this, because like Party and Bull.
Let me see. Let me tell you.
It's such a good.
Let me tell. SBIG Party.
I was a terror since the public school era. Bathroom passes, cutting classes, squeezing professors. Smoking blunts was a daily routine since 13.
Let's see, what
Biggie on the scene. I used to have the tray deuce on the deuce and the bubble goose. Now I got the nap in the knapsack, lounge in black. Honeys want to chat, but all we want to know is where the party
at.
If not, I hope I don't get shot.
I don't remember. I can't. Or was it on what album? I can't find what it is. People will probably tell us what album it is.
Nobody watches. Are you kidding? What people? Hubert?
People will come in. They'll tell me. They're like,
Hubert will Google.
I have people who come in. They're like, they come in. They talk about it. But okay, so the thing with Biggie's album, so number two, you got a lot of that party stuff, but you kind of know where that party stuff came from. It came from Puff Daddy. Like he was very much like party and kind of do that stuff. So actually, my number one album is actually Puff Daddy's No Way Out, 1997. This is my number one album. Like when I got this album, I like pumped it like night and day for like forever, and I still love this album. Like. So remember Victory with Busta Rhymes and B.I.G.? Been Around the World. What else is on here?
No, this is a...
It's All About the Benjamins. That's a classic.
But you're
like
right,
those are the big ones. And then when Biggie... Oh, so Can't Hold Me Down. Can't Nobody Hold Me Down. Oh no. And then so when this album came out, Biggie just died. So then they put together that one song, "I'll Be Missing You," and
Yeah.
that's on here too. So
I'll
this
be
this
missing.
one is littered with like bangers, like,
Mm-hmm.
and Diddy raps in this, and Diddy's kind of like
He's a
Dr.
pretty good
Dre,
rapper.
where he's not really a rapper like per se in the class of like Jay Z or anything, but he can still rap. But he was
Yeah.
mostly
Yeah.
the producer, the guy who arranges stuff, the guy who kind of, because like from here, like Diddy, he got like Biggie, he had like the Locks, he got Mace. Like back in the '90s, Bad Boy was like huge, and he got and
Mm-hmm.
kind of pulled all these artists together to do like all this stuff, and they had hit after hit, man. They had like so many hits. Remember like Faith
Yeah.
Evans, Black Rob, like that
Mm-hmm.
was like their like
They were
thing, like
untouchable for a while.
yeah. And I remember
Yeah.
because I had like my first CD that I ever bought was Mace Harlem World, and that's kind of found Diddy, and then
Really?
yeah, and then from
First
there
CD
out.
I ever bought was Weird Al.
Yeah, so I kind of got into the bad boy thing, but like for me, Diddy's very like he's got that swag. He's a cool dude, and he kind of does things, and I kind of like that. And then he makes good music, right? He makes music that makes you dance, and this album is
I
just a
always
lot.
suspected that Diddy had something to do with Tupac dying.
He was there, right?
Maybe not Biggie, but I don't know. Something about Diddy makes me think that he knew something. There was something. I could be totally wrong, but
All the theories.
I
We're not
don't
gonna go
know.
into this could go into a conspiracy theory episode where we talk about conspiracy. That could be the
And I
one of
have
them,
no
right?
doubt Biggie would have done it either. I think Biggie and P Diddy would have both. I think they both would have shot Tupac down.
Yeah,
You know,
there's a
if
lot of
they thought they
conspiracies
couldn't
like
get
that. They
away with
both
it and
faked their
stuff like that.
deaths, or it
I
was
think I think they were
something.
legitimately fucking angry at each other for a lot of different reasons, and they would have hurt each other if they could. I think for
Or it could
sure.
have been just a beef for show, you know? Like let's
No,
start beefing.
not that one. Not that one, man. Some, yeah, but not that one. I don't believe. I'll never believe that one was a beef for show. No way.
All right. So that's our top fives. I don't know if people disagree, agree. Let us know. Tell us what your top five albums are. So now we're going to talk about kind of our notables. So the things that would have made our lists, uh, or they're just so good that we should just at least mention. So do you have any on the top of your head that you want to mention?
Yeah, we went through them a little bit already, right?
Yeah,
Like
I know we
Marshall
did.
Mathers LP and
Oh yeah, and Eminem. I know a lot that would hit
Eminem, obviously,
a lot of
like
people's lists.
yeah,
Eminem.
yeah.
Another one for me.
America Cosmos Wanted, the Ice Cube album.
Yeah. Oh, an Ice Cube one.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah.
For me, The
Um,
Roots. Things Fall Apart. Do you know The Roots?
oh yeah, I do. Yeah,
That for
yeah.
that's a
That's a good album.
yeah, it's a good album. And then kind of in that same vein, Tribe Called Quest. For me,
Mm,
not the best one that people would say, but the one that came out when I was listening to hip hop and I really loved was The Love Movement. Um,
I'm sure. Maybe I've heard it, but I don't.
yeah.
I'm sorry, I don't
Um,
remember.
some big ones like Wu Tang. We mentioned that one. 36
Yeah,
Chambers. That's a
there's just
notable
chambers. Yeah.
album. I did mention Mace Harlem World. That was for
Mm.
me. That would have made the list. I
No,
maybe should
Harlem
have
World
put it
was
on there.
good, man.
That was a good album. Yeah.
Um, yeah, I'm trying to think now.
Yeah, like I said, Ready to Die. That was on my
Old
notables list, but you had that on your list.
Wyclef had some
Oh yeah,
really good stuff.
yeah. Wyclef, he had a good album.
And
Yeah.
Faith Hill, yeah, yeah.
Lauren Hill,
Um,
yeah. That's
yeah,
on the
Lauren
list.
Hill, sorry.
So there's one album that people when I searched up top hip hop albums, this is one album that kind of came to the top of the list every single time, and I think it's kind of like critically acclaimed. It's older than when I started listening to hip hop, but I think it's still a good album. But I'll just say it's a Nas Illmatic.
Oh fuck.
Yeah,
Illmatic.
that's a
Yeah.
good album.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Illmatic is amazing. Yeah.
yeah. People say
Stillmatic
this.
was really good too.
Yeah. I
Um,
do like Nas as well. Like,
yeah,
um,
Nas is obviously
there's one song that stands out to me, and I guess it'll make sense.
Nas
It's
is
the one,
Nas.
the one with P Diddy. You can hate me now,
I don't
and I
care,
won't
you can
stop
hate
now,
me now, but I won't
now.
stop now. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. It's out there
Um,
now. Everyone knows I'm a big, huge P Diddy fan. I
yeah,
I like that one song with P
yeah.
Diddy, and he did for Godzilla, with Jimmy Page. Come with me.
Yeah.
I love it's
Yeah,
based
that's
off that
Kashmir, right?
Kashmir.
Which is
Yeah, I love that song so
from
much.
one of the Zeppelin albums. Zeppelin.
I just love like he's standing out there with like Godzilla, and then he's like, "Come with me," at the very end, and then you hear Godzilla right at the very end. That song is epic. I love that song.
Yeah.
It's so good. It's cross genre. Like
Yeah,
I know a lot of
that song's better than that movie, man.
yeah.
Just like the Wild Wild West song, Will
Wow,
Smith.
wow, West.
Like that song's
Wow.
better than that movie, man.
That song "Come with
Go
Me" is.
with that.
I know a lot of people that only listen to rock and they say that they hate hip hop, they hate rap, but they still
They
like
only listen
that
to
song.
The Rock, like his song with Wyclef Jean.
They love that
It
song.
doesn't matter.
So I think it brings people together.
Yeah. No, I love rock, obviously, you know.
Yeah. Me too. I love lots of different kinds of music.
Springsteen's the best. I really like Springsteen.
Just a few more notables that I want to throw out there. Like you mentioned J. Cole. I think Forest Hills Drive is a very good album.
Of course. Oh, The Game.
The Game, yep.
The Game. His first two albums are just really, really good.
Yeah,
I don't know if he made more after that, to be honest, but
yeah,
The Game.
what
really
about
good.
Busta Rhymes, When Disaster
Busta
Strikes?
Rhymes,
That's probably
yes.
his best album.
Nelly, man.
Put your hands
Country
where my
Grammar.
eyes can see. Yeah, Nelly. Yeah. And then I'm a big T.I. fan, so Trouble Man. I don't know if you heard that album. That album's really good. T.I.'s super solid. He's almost like a Jay-Z to me.
Right on.
Any more notables?
Nope, that's it for me.
Yeah, that's it for me too. Like that's all I can think of off the top of my head. But there's tons. Like I love like hip hop. I've been listening to hip hop forever. I've never stopped. Can't stop, won't stop. But yeah, there's tons. Like you just mentioned, like Nelly and all that. I even like the Flow Ride. I like all kinds.
Coolio, man.
Oh yeah, Coolio.
Gangsta's Paradise, like.
Yeah. So now let's switch over to like new rappers. Let's talk about kind of the new generation.
No.
I know you're not as much following new rappers as I do, but like I remember in one episode we talked about Chromeo, those indie rock.
Yeah. I named them as a new rapper. I know.
No, but they're good. But I know earlier we were talking about new rappers, and you said Lil Dicky's probably the newest rapper that you're really into. And I love Lil Dicky too, because that's another genre of like rap where it's like comedic, but he's also got mad skill too. Lil Dicky.
Yeah, he's funny, man. He's really good. He comes up with some really like surprising stories and rhymes. Yeah.
Yeah. And there's a lot of other new rappers that are kind of funny. There's a rapper. His name is Rich Brian. I don't know if you've ever heard of Rich Brian. He's this Asian guy, and he had a song when he came out with, it was called Dat Stick. If you haven't heard it, you should go check it out. It was so funny because he actually was a kind of like a YouTuber, kind of comedian, but he's actually really good at rapping as well. He's this Asian guy, but now he mostly focuses on rap. But when he came out with Dat Stick, the video was so funny because he was this skinny Asian guy, and he was wearing like a polo. He kind of looked like Carlton, wearing like a fanny pack, and then he was in like the hood. But he's a funny guy. Yeah, you check him out. His stuff is really good. Some other new rappers that I'm kind of feeling right now. So I guess she's actually funny too. You know Aquafina? So you know the girl from Shang-Chi? Yeah,
from Shang-Chi.
She's actually a rapper as well, and she's actually really good.
Right on.
Yeah. You'll probably know Doja Cat. I like Doja Cat a lot, actually. You've heard Doja, right? She sings like Juicy, and if you're on TikTok, like a lot of her songs are like very memeable and in TikToks. Like I probably think out of anyone on TikTok who has songs on TikTok, she's probably the one who's been used the most for TikToks. You know Doja?
Okay. Cool. No, I don't know her at all.
Oh no. All right, Nick, you're gonna have to go check out some of these.
No, I'm not going to. But okay. I'm not that interested in new things.
Yeah. Just for anyone who's interested. I'll just do a slight list. So some other good ones. Baby No Money. G-Eazy. You know G-Eazy. He sings. No, you don't. Okay, he's not really new, but he's really good. Megan Thee Stallion. She's good too. Oh man, you don't know. Okay. Queen Herbie. She's awesome. So she's actually from this pop band.
Queen Herbie?
Yeah. She was from this pop band called Carmen. So she used to have like songs on the radio and stuff. Then she switched from pop to like rap because she even rapped in her pop songs. But now she's like straight up rapper, and she's awesome. Like she puts out EPs like very frequently. She's on like EP 9 or something right now, but she's awesome. Do you know Watsky? No, he's this white dude. He's actually from YouTube as well.
Dude, we're at an hour, man.
All right, new rappers. All right, let's check. Okay, that's a little bit from the new rappers. Like I have a ton of new rappers that I listen to, but you're like, I don't know any of these guys.
I'm sorry, man. I wish I did. Like I don't.
Later, rewind this podcast and listen to the ones I listed and go check them out. They're awesome. I'm gonna make you a new hip hop fan eventually.
Okay.
Okay. All right, and last thing we'll talk about is so producers. Like these are the guys who made all the beats.
All right, fine. Producers,
man, look, because you have Dr. Dre. He's a wicked producer. Kanye West, wicked producer. He's like these are the people that make the music on the albums that you like. Like you like all the beats on there. I just wanted to name some of them, but yeah, you'll see that a lot of them was Kanye West.
I like Kanye and Dre for producers. Yeah.
Kanye, Dre, and then actually and the big two for me, Timbaland and the Neptunes. They produced all the hits from like 90s till even almost today. Like, and I remember in the late 90s, every song was a Timbaland beat or a Neptunes beat.
Timbaland and the Neptunes, right on. Yeah, I remember Timbaland. And
Timbaland.
Who was the other guy that was always getting shout outs? He was on a lot of what? Okay.
Oh, Little John.
Little John, yeah.
Big producers come and go. Another one was like T-Pain. Remember T-Pain? He used to make he must like every song.
Does 2 Chainz produce?
No, he's just a rapper.
But
it's funny. A funny thing about T-Pain, he kind of does like Twitch streaming like we do, but he does like gaming and stuff. If you haven't heard or seen T-Pain's Twitch, you gotta check it out. He's really good. So he'll do music, he'll do gaming, and he'll kind of just do like general stuff. But at the beginning of every one of his streams, he will rap the intro, and it's so good. Like you just have to check that out. Like if you're listening to this, turn the shit off right now. Go find T-Pain's stream and turn it on and listen to it. It's that good. Even you, Mick, do it like later.
I will.
Check out T-Pain's stream, just the beginning. He raps in it. It's so good.
I will. Yeah. Okay, cool. Right on. On, dude.
I guess that wraps up our
that wraps it up.
Our rap episode. Like I would go forever on these episodes.
I know.
Because I can talk forever about whatever, but we'll try to keep these short. You got any you want to get some closing words in?
No, man, I'm good. I said all the things I needed to say.
All right, man.
I will now allow you to say.
Thank you, everybody, for tuning in this week. If you're looking for anything from the show, I got show notes and time codes jump around on everything you're catching us on. And then you can find everything. So the audio, video podcast, show notes, even some of our awesome merch, like this mug here, you can find at everythingwithmillennials.com.
It's a good-ass mug. It'll keep your shit good.
Yeah, follow us, subscribe, like us. That all helps us out. I'm Anthony Elman, the Essential LMNT on Twitter, Instagram, and Twitch. Where you gonna find you, Mick?
You can't find me, man. I'm gone. I'm gone from your site.
Well, you can find us on this podcast. We'll see you next time. Peace.
Bye. Peace. Roll up your money in a black paper bag.